Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Friends, I'm continuing my review of earnings results from genomic companies. Today I'm going to talk about Verve Therapeutics. I think the overall earnings report is kind of a nothing burger because nothing is coming up anytime soon. And things are moving as slow as molasses in my personal opinion. With that said, let's get started. Welcome back, friends. As you know, Verve Therapeutics is a clinical stage biotech company focused on developing gene editing therapies for cardiovascular diseases, and it has reported its financial and operational results for Q2 2024. And this quarter, it highlighted the company's ongoing progress in its pipeline, particularly with its flagship programs targeting PCSK9 and ANGPTL3 genes, which are critical in managing cholesterol levels. So the focus is more on the heart health, cardiovascular health, and the updates say that with regard to Verve 102, which targets the PCSK9 gene, it's in heart 2 phase 1b clinical trial, and the trial is ongoing with a focus on patients with heterozygous familial hypercholesteremia or HeFH, and premature coronary artery disease or CAD. This novel gene editing therapy aims to permanently deactivate the PCSK9 gene in the liver, leading to a sustained reduction in LDL cholesterol. And the trial received regulatory clearance in Australia, adding to earlier clearances in UK and Canada. And initial data from this trial is expected in first half of 2025. So nothing is happening this year. So the earliest catalyst now is in first half of 2025, with a phase 2 trial slated to start in the second half of 2025. So Verve 101 Heart 1 trial enrollment has been paused due to observed laboratory abnormalities suspected to be related to the LNP delivery system used in the drug, and Verve is working with regulatory bodies to explore mitigation strategies and define a path forward. And next, let us look at Verve 201. Verve is on track to begin a phase 1b clinical trial for Verve 201 in second half of 2024. We are already halfway into the second half of 2024, so it should happen anytime in the next 3 months, and it's pending regulatory approvals. This gene editing therapy aims to treat atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease or ASCVD patients with refractory hypercholesteremia. Cholesterolomia, and those with homozygous familial hypercholesterolemia, and that's called as HoFH in short form. And this is done by permanently disabling the ANGPTL3 gene, reducing LDL-C and remnant cholesterol levels. So that's what they are doing. So I don't see any major catalysts coming up in the near term. Again, the catalyst expected the end of this quarter is just the start of a study, and that too, it's waiting for FDA approval. So I don't think anything to move the needle has happened as such with Verve. And they ended the Q2 2024 session with around $575.9 million in cash equivalents, and marketable securities. And the company expects this capital to sustain operations into late 2026. And remember, their catalysts are coming in the beginning, in the first half of 2025. So we'll have to see what happens with this company, whether the money will last all the duration, or maybe one of the positives in this report is their collaboration revenue going up. Maybe that could save the day. The company reported $6.7 million in collaboration revenue for Q2 2024, up from $2.1 million in Q2 2023. The increase is attributed to the expansion of research services under existing collaboration agreement, which means they are doing collaboration very well and they are managing their collaboration partners well. So this is a very good sign. And maybe there will be an expansion in collaboration that's going to keep on bringing revenue and replenishing the cash balances. So hoping for the best on that department. And then let's turn our attention to R&D, where expenses rose to $51 million in Q2 2024, up from $47.3 million in Q2 2023. And the company says that the increase reflects continued investment in the company's pipeline, with $6.5 million allocated to stock-based compensation. Then we have general and administrative expenses, which increased slightly to $14.5 million in Q2 2024 compared to $13.4 million in the same period last year. and stock-based compensation accounted for 5.2 million of this amount. Now, the net loss reported was 49.8 million or 59 cents per share in Q2 2024, compared to a net loss of 54 million or 87 cents per share in Q2 2023. The reduced net loss reflects the company's increased revenue, but I wouldn't say that they have been able to control expenses as much. But overall, increased revenue has definitely padded the losses and brought that down. That's a good point in my books. And overall, the outlook for Verve Therapeutics continues to be that it would advance its clinical programs with the goal of providing lifelong cholesterol-lowering therapies through single-course gene editing therapies like once-and-done therapies. And this company remains well-positioned financially with a cash runway extending into late 2026. And it anticipates key clinical data readouts and trial initiations in the coming quarters. Just one of those catalysts is in the coming quarter, but the rest are all in 2025. So I think we'll have to watch out for Verve as they will present at several key investor and medical conferences, including the Canaccord Genuity Growth Conference in August and the European Society of Gene and Cell Therapy meeting in October, which will provide further insight into the company's progress and future plans. So in conclusion, I will say that Q2 2024 was marked by reasonable progress in Verve Therapeutics clinical trials and financial stability. The company's strong cash position coupled with ongoing clinical advancements reinforces its potential to revolutionize the treatment of cardiovascular diseases through gene editing. But my message to most of my fellow genomic investors is that you need oodles of patience to be invested in Verve. Because while the world is moving fast all around the place, Verve is moving as slow as molasses. In my personal opinion, I might be wrong, but things are moving very, very slowly. And that definitely reflects in the Verve share prices. Let's go to TradingView platform and look at the share prices. Well, here we are in the TradingView platform looking at the chart for Verve Therapeutics, and each of these candles is a one-day candle, and you'll see a huge drop gap down out here from which Verve never recovered. And this happened around 2nd of April when they announced Verve 101 had a setback and it is going to be paused until the LNP issue is sorted out. And nothing has been sorted out yet since 2nd of April 2024. Work is ongoing on that. So we see that there's a ceiling about there and the price has been below that. And it's been just moving sideways, a little bit up and down, but mostly sideways. And therefore, there isn't much enthusiasm in the market for Verve Therapeutics. And today also, if we were to look at the pre-market action, we have a 13-cent gain in the share prices. And pre-market is not indicative of what's going to happen during the day. But overall, I would say that Verve share price performance has not been great for any investor. Even a short-term investor who started somewhere around April 2 is still going to find themselves in loss. And those who had invested much earlier have fallen from lofty heights where each share was valued somewhere around, let us say, $77 or $75, and it has fallen all the way down to $5. So things are not looking that great for Verve Therapeutics. And at this point of time, looking at the way things are moving in the AI sector and other places where everything is so dynamic, I think locking up money in Verve Therapeutics and waiting for the payday to come seems to be a very difficult proposition for me, at least at this point of time. Maybe in the near future, yes. There is nothing wrong with the company as such, other than that the pace is very slow and the setback with Verve 101 definitely does not inspire too much confidence. Momentum as a result is very low, so that shows low interest. MACD is very bearish. And we'll see what happens during the day. Yesterday, it lost 4.23%, which is around 24 cents. Today, it is poised to recover half of it at the open, which is 13 cents. Nothing much to write home about. So, my friends, that is the story of Verve Therapeutics. And I would like to hear from you, whether you have it in your portfolio. I don't have any. I haven't bought Verve ever so far. Will I buy it in the future? Yes, I'm going to watch it very carefully and see how things go, because cholesterol related drug or cardiovascular themes are a huge market, and if any of these therapies succeeds, Verve will hit big time. But we have a long way to go before that. Earliest milestones are coming in 2025, and that too we are not talking about a BLA, or we are not talking about monetization. We are just talking about completing a phase of clinical trial and going into the next phase. So that's a long wait ahead. Will the money last until they get monetized? I don't know. So I'd like to hear from you guys. What do you think about Verve Therapeutics? Put it in the comment section. As you know, I always like to hear from you and understand your viewpoint. And we are a retail investor channel, and I believe that you know as much as I do, or maybe even more. So exchange of information benefits the entire community which is reading our comment section, and it also helps me. So with that, my friends, I'd like to bring this video to an end. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now, and see you later.